Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for watching. If you're a new subscriber, thank you so much for watching. I hope you're enjoying the recipes. And if you are just watching my channel for the first time, go ahead and subscribe. I would love to have you join us. We make videos all the time, delicious recipes. So today we are making a delicious southern soul food recipe. It's a lentil split pea soup, and you probably made lentil soup before, you probably made split pea soup before, but have you ever combined them? It tastes so good together. So we're gonna get right into the video. Hope you guys enjoy it. Let me know what you think, and I'll catch you guys at the end. These are the ingredients we'll be using today. Some sea salt, some black pepper, some turmeric, some sage, some cumin, the rest of my little smoked paprika there, and that liquid smoke. That is the secret ingredient so that you don't have to use any smoked meats to make it have that smoky, salty flavor. I'm going to be using lentils, and I'm also using yellow split peas. So I know a lot of you guys have probably made lentil soup before, or even split pea soup, but have you ever combined it? It tastes really, really good. I'm going to be using the carrots from the other day, and I'm also going to be using, that's about, I would say, a fourth of a red onion, as well as 4 celery stalks. So I just cut them up, I diced them up, not super, super small, but small enough. And if you guys saw the recipe that I made, that I used carrots the other day for the tofu stir fry, that's where those other carrots came from. So I'll leave that recipe in the description box below if you want to check out the tofu stir fry. It came out really tasty with noodles and veggies. So Cynthia, one of our awesome ladies that watches the recipe videos, she suggested that I use olive oil. Well, she didn't really suggest it, but she said that that's what she would do. She would not use olive oil. She would use water instead. So I'm gonna take her lead on that and use water today to saute the onion and celery instead of oil. You can definitely use oil. I go both ways as far as that's concerned. And but you don't really have to use oil. It's definitely a healthier version, but really if you're using oil, just don't use too much, just maybe like a teaspoon or a tablespoon, and that will let you be able to saute your veggies up really good. So I'm going to be using this veggie stock. And what I like to use, the reason why I like to use veggie stock is it adds extra flavor. You could use just water and add, a lot of seasonings and things. Of course, I'm using seasoning as well, but the veggie stock is going to give it even more flavor. And the nice thing about this veggie stock is it has bay leaves and thyme, and those are 2 things that I do not have on hand right now. So it's really nice to get those flavors in without actually having those herbs with me. So I went ahead and, oh, you can also use the veggie stock to saute the onions and the celery instead of water. It'll give it even more flavor, so you can do that. But one thing that I learned from chefs is you want to season as you go along. So even though I haven't added any liquid or anything and I'm just sauteing these veggies, I'm going to go ahead and, since they're now turning translucent, they've cooked down some, I'm going to go ahead and season them as they are right now before I add the other ingredients. So go ahead and just add all those ingredients. As far as the seasonings go, you got your sage, your black pepper, you got your sea salt, your smoked paprika, your cumin, and then that liquid smoke, which is the secret ingredient. That's also the secret ingredient in my collard greens. I know that a lot of times in the South, or when we're making collard greens and dishes like that, green beans, anything that we want to give a smoky flavor, we were using, turkey leg or ham hock or all that kind of stuff. And, we really don't want to use that, or sausage. But you can still get that flavor, that smoky flavor, by using just a couple drops of the liquid smoke. And then you'll get the salty flavor because you're, of course, using all those other ingredients, including your sea salt. So now I'm just adding the lentils, the carrots, the split yellow peas. And then I'm going to go ahead and add that veggie stock. And this is probably about I would say this is about 2 cups of veggie stock. It's not going to be enough liquid, but it's going to definitely add a nice flavor to it. And you want to mix that around, get it nice and combined in there before we add the rest of the water. So we're just going to mix that up really good. Turn the heat up some because we are going to bring it to a boil before we turn it back down. And you want to just add, it's going to be about 4 cups of water, but you can really eye it. Just add water until you see it's about, I would say 4 or 5 inches above the ingredients on the bottom there, because you know the lentils and the peas, even the carrots, they're going to soak up a lot of that water as they're cooking and swell up. So unless you want a stew, you know, you can add less water. You can probably like cut it in half, I would say. But if you want a real good soup, you want to add at least 4 cups of water to that. So you'll see I'm just like adding more, and it's going to end up being about 4 or 5 inches above the rest of the ingredients. So now that I have enough water in there, I have all the water that I want, I'm going to season again. So that's this trick I was telling you about earlier that I learned from chefs. Just watching videos online, you know, like the rest of us, and taking tips here and there. They like to season as they go. So I already seasoned the veggies that I've sauteed, and now that I added my liquid, I'm going to season again. So it's going to have really good flavor coming through. Once I add all of the seasonings again, and I'll leave all of the ingredients in the description box below, the full recipe, so in case you want to make this yourself, you'll know like the amount to use. And you are going to, you know, season again, add those seasonings, and then give it a stir, mix it up. You'll bring it to a boil, and then after you bring it to a boil for about, I would say let it boil for like 30 seconds to a minute, and then turn it down to medium low, so it's just simmering, and then put the lid on. And then it's going to simmer for about, you probably only need about 25 minutes at that point. Just check it. You want to make sure that your legumes are tender. And once they're tender, it's going to come out so delicious. All of the seasonings are going to be well combined and, you know, integrated into those legumes. It's going to taste delicious. And you can have it, you know, just as a soup like that. Maybe top it with a little bit of parsley. Maybe sprinkle a little bit of lemon juice on top and just have it as a soup like that. I did not add any potato. I know a lot of times with the lentil stew or sweet peas, we like to add a little bit of diced potato in there. I did not add any diced potato. So for that starchiness, I think I'm going to put it over some rice. So you don't have to do that. You can just have it as a soup. But I do want to have that kind of comforty, you know, hearty meal tonight. So I'm going to put it over rice, and that's going to be really delicious. If you don't want to use white potato, you could definitely use butternut squash. That would be really good in it too. You could even roast the butternut squash first, cut it into cubes, roast it, and then put it in the soup. That would be absolutely delicious. Or you could use sweet potato. You dice up your sweet potato, cook it up, and let it cook in the soup. So that would be really good too. Yeah. So this came out so good, guys. I hope you try this recipe. Alright guys, that's it for me today. I'll see you guys tomorrow, and I hope you guys enjoyed the recipe. Let me know if you're going to give it a try. Have a great night. Love you. Bye. Mwah.